What's going on, guys, and welcome back to the channel for yet another revisited episode of this Pentagon challenge. Today we are staying in Brazil, but we are talking about one of the big hitters in the country. Stage 3 of this journey, we moved to Santos, and this is where we managed to pick up the first of the 5 trophies we needed to complete this series. We were crowned Copa Libertadores champions whilst at Santos, but it wasn't just that one trophy that we were able to pick up. Let's jump into today's episode and talk about our successful time at Santos. So then, guys, we are back on my job history screen, and obviously you can tell we've already recapped 2 of the jobs that we've had so far in this save. Obviously, we did go over to Santos. Santos, we were actually there for a relatively short period of time, but a very successful period of time. As I mentioned in the intro, they are one of the biggest clubs in Brazil. And, you know, they've had legends like Pele and Neymar come through the club, so that they're accustomed to success. If we go into Santos and we take a look at them, 5 Copa Libertadores titles. One of them's me, one of them's not. 10 Serie A's, you know, they've just won so much, like 28 Brazilian state championships. There's just so much in there that they've done. It's actually crazy. When we were manager of Santos, obviously Santos produced some of the best wonder kids in the league. We managed to finish top in our first division, manager of the year as well. Brasileiro Serie A title, the Copa Sudamericana, which is the second continental tier competition. We didn't qualify for the Copa Libertadores. I'll show you the tables in a second if you missed it. And we also won the Sao Paulo State Championship. So we had one hell of a first season. In that second season, again, manager of the year for yours truly, I assume. Yes, it is. But we also managed to win the Copa Libertadores, the Brazilian title, the Sao Paulo State Championship, the Recopa Santander Sudamericana, and the Supercopa de Brazil. The only trophy we missed out on was the Brazilian Cup. So we were manager of Santos for 2025 and 2026. So let's go back over to their history. And as you can see, guys, they sort of bounced around. They've been relatively high in recent seasons. They finished second there. They finished second there most recently in 2019. Bounced around a little bit. And then this is where they were prompted to pull the trigger. They didn't qualify for the Copa Libertadores, which they kind of... Considering the amount of places available in Brazil, there's 7 places available to qualify for the Copa Libertadores at relatively different stages. And this is the first time that they've not qualified for that in such a long time. Obviously down in 11th. I'll show you the table in a sec. That prompted them to pull the trigger. They fired their manager. They hired me. And, well, I brought them some success. So, as you can see, 2025 we won the Serie A title, 2026 we won the Serie A title, and then I left, and as you can see, dropped down to 3rd, 5th, dropped down to 8th again, so they probably sacked their manager there. 7th, dropped all the way down to 10th, back up to 3rd, and last season they finished in 10th. So as you can see, we were the manager for these 2 years here, 2025 and 2026. So as you can see, 2026 Copa Libertadores, hello, that was me. 2025 and 2026 Brasilia Serie A title, that again was me. Haven't won it since. Haven't really, to be honest, since the season where they finished 3rd. Haven't really got close. Copa Sudamericana, that was me again. 2025, they've won it again an additional time, which is fair play to them. And then obviously we contributed a couple Sao Paulo State Championships. If you didn't know about Brazil, there's so many games in Brazil because you play a Sao Paulo, a regional state championship. So we played in the Sao Paulo State Championship. Obviously that is where Santos is based. And yeah, that's it. That's it. You play in a regionalized tournament, and there is a massive trophy on offer. It's bragging rights, it's regional bragging rights, but also there's quite a lot of pressure on you to do so. I've just noticed most goals in by a player in a season. Azil Bobadilla, who was one of our strikers back in the day, is he still playing? He is 29 years of age. He is now a fringe player at Everton. And as you can see, Everton bought him, so we bought him for 1.7 million, and he was absolutely class. Great goal return whilst he was at Santos, and then Everton paid £12 million for him not long after we left, which is interesting. So as you can see, Santos much more of a step up in ability. It looks like they've got a new stadium, the Coutinho Arena. Love that. I don't know who that's. I'm probably going to get slaughtered in the comments here, but I don't know who that's. I don't know who that's because of. Where do you get club legends? I can't remember. Players? No. Oh, hold on. I can go all the way back. And can I go all the way back and see all my players? I can. Yay! These are the boys. 2025. Right, appearances. Let's go. Evandro. Oh, this guy. What a beast he was on loan from Inter Milan back in the day. Evandro was there. Verimoso. Malthuis, Nico Lopez, who's still a favoured member of staff of mine, I believe. Now he has turned into a manager himself. He's actually developed into an alright manager. Lucas Gomez, Diego Blanco, he was good back in the day. Now at Porto, 30 years of age, transfer listed, 6.5 million. He actually still looks like a relatively decent player. Mateus Jesus is now a scout at Roma. Love it. Ivan, the goalkeeper, he has just retired. Obviously going to Spurs. And then, for those of you who were there, we did buy him back from Tottenham. Sydney as well, another one who's gone over to Europe. He is now at, where is that? Borussia Mönchengladbach, and we've played him a few times in the Bundesliga. Relatively decent return. Another one of my players, another new gen who has been purchased by Arsenal. There seems to be a little bit of a trend here when we were in Brazil. But as you can see, some really nice players in my first season. Highest goal scorer in that first season was Lucas Gomez, who's now at Molde. Okay striker, nothing too severe. He sort of bounced around a bit, got bought by Porto, went to Brentford, Cincinnati, Cruzeiro, now he's at Molde. Koi Santos, another one who was a relatively prolific back in the day, now finds himself at Burnley. It's rare that you get Brazilian strikers at Burnley, isn't it? And then Diego Blanco, Lopez, etc. All putting on the form in the business into the next season. Highest appearance, Bobadilla. Obviously, the man who we mentioned, highest goal return in a single season. We had Vendel here, who's now a head of youth development and a bad one at that. Obviously, who we bought from Bayern Leverkusen. There's some great names in here, to be perfectly honest. Seeing where some of these guys are now is fantastic. We had this guy. Is this the guy? Yeah, we bought him from River Plate. And he was a very, very good central midfielder back in the day. Obviously now 30 years of age. But who is the player that I am thinking of? Who's the guy that we sold to Barcelona? Central midfielder. And I really can't remember his name. I'm going to have to dive into the transfer history because that's going to bug me otherwise. Let's go all the way back. Come on, game. Oh, it's so slow. It's so slow. This save file is massive now. And it is so slow. So let's go back to 2025. Transfers out. Sydney, no. Kai. Is this the dude who's... No, it can't be. I was going to say, is this the dude who's now at Man City? Definitely is not. Koa in on loan. Obviously, I've touched on Koa last episode. This is where we pulled him back in on loan from Arsenal. Must have been the season after that we sold this dude then. Yeah, it was Juan Pablo Salinas, who we sold to Barcelona, who up until recently was probably one of my highest fees I received for a player. Relatively good playmaker, great in the mental attributes, but he's sort of fallen off and not really progressed in terms of his development, in terms of his technical attributes by the looks of things. Looks like he's had an okay career. Bounced around a little bit. Barcelona didn't really impress for Barca. Went to Italy, to Atalanta, and he's now playing in France at Lyon. I love looking at these guys, just going back, and as I said, the sort of nostalgia factor. Vinicius Felix is at Liverpool. Look at this guy, absolutely cracked off his box. Barely played for me, I don't think, but yeah, it's crazy looking back at some of these players, looking at the history, and obviously looking at everything else. In terms of their managers, we sort of dropped in here. I'm not gonna, let's hide the caretakers, but it looks like Colo Torre was a caretaker manager. We hired him as an assistant manager, and he still is the assistant manager of Santos, which is great to see. Super Colo. But in terms of all the managers in that job whilst we were there, this guy here had 54% win ratio and was sacked after 4 years. 11 days caretaker, 84 days this guy, Leo Condone, who's not in the game anymore. 36% win ratio for him. 64 days in the job, got binned, and then it was over to me. As you can see, league wins it's 4. We've definitely didn't win 4 league titles. Cup wins, it's probably a few more than 4, but it is what it is. No promotions, major league honors, Serie A. Major cup honors was obviously that Copa Libertadores. We were there for a year and 325 days before we started that second that second leg of this challenge. Obviously, leaving Brazil, leaving South America. And where did we go next? We went over to Africa, and it was over to the Kaiser Chiefs, which is going to be next episode. And as you can see just by looking at this, we won stacks of trophies at the Kaiser Chiefs. I really enjoyed the time in South Africa, but hopefully next year there's a few more playable leagues within Africa, because I kind of want to do a Pentagon challenge yet again for next season, but I don't want to go down the same route of doing the same clubs again. I really want a completely different story to tell, a different experience. So fingers crossed I get it. But that is where I'm going to leave things for today, guys. It's another recap that I've done and dusted. Let me know down in the comments if you've been enjoying these sort of nostalgia trips. Were you part of the series whilst we were at Santos? Did you see us win that Copa Libertadores? Have you since watched the episode where we won the Copa Libertadores? Do let me know down in the comments below. But that is it for today. If you have enjoyed it, drop a like on the video down below. That'd be fantastic if you could. Subscribe to the channel if you aren't already. We are powering our way up the subscriber goal that is down in the description. The subscriber goal is 10k. We are well on our way there now, and that is all down to you fantastic people. But until next time, guys, take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and I'll see you on another one very, very soon.